it's easy to feel overwhelmed about multiple aspects of our lives. The constant noise of social media, not spending enough time on our side projects, saying we have to start working out while avoiding it at the same time. And although we've tried and tried again, let's think on how we can approach things a little differently this time. I, for one, am feeling pretty optimistic about the new year, but we all know how fast things can change. And so today I want to do something a little bit different, and I want to share something that really helped me throughout the past year when it came to feeling overwhelmed about the future. It actually started earlier last year, after yet another year of slowly seeing my New Year's plans fall apart. And what once felt ambitious and possible started to feel like it was too much to do at once. And at the same time, the less I did, the more overwhelmed I felt. It was around this time where I first came across the concept of the gap, which is something that I first heard from Mel Robbins. And basically, if you imagine a chasm or like a gorge, and you're on one side of the cliff, and the person that you want to be is on the other side. And this gap represents all the things that we have to do in order to get there. The thing is that when we focus on the amount of work that we have to do, closing that gap suddenly feels insurmountable, and this is where we start to feel overwhelmed. It was the first time I heard it phrased in that particular way that it really started to shift my perspective. It actually ended up providing a lot of clarity on the things that I had to focus on. Now if we look at the whole picture, it seems kind of impossible and borderline like a death wish, but the key here is to not look at the whole picture. I've probably tried a dozen different productivity systems and apps over the years, but none really seemed to stick. But my one goal was to get over this paralyzing feeling of being overwhelmed so that I could actually start doing the work. Call it what you want, procrastination, resistance. At this point, not even planning things out on a weekly basis was helping me. Most projects and tasks seem overwhelming in their entirety, and so what worked best for me was to break down these projects into the smallest steps possible. I started to plan things for the day-to-day instead of focusing on my weekly and even monthly plans. This is what they call narrowing your focus. I reverted back to the one system that has undoubtedly changed my life in the past year, and it's ironically the simplest. The checklist. There is, however, a few specific rules to this. First is only have 2 to 3 tasks. There is a reason for this that I'll get to in a bit. Secondly, I put it somewhere I can see it at all times, preferably somewhere physical and somewhere that doesn't close, like a screen or app. And lastly, at the end of the day, regardless of whether or not I crossed everything off, I would write a new one for the next day. The problem with most checklists is that we tend to drag on the ones that we don't complete on and on until even a few weeks have gone by. This is actually why I suggest only starting with 2 to 3 tasks at first, because it will literally feel like you're doing the absolute least, but that's kind of the point, because if you put too much on your plate in the beginning and then you're not able to cross it off, it will be easy to feel discouraged or to tell ourselves that we're not doing enough. And so it's best to just keep it simple in the beginning. And on the other side of that, it's a great feeling when we're able to cross off everything on our list, and that rewarding feeling we get is the thing that will get the ball rolling. And ultimately, that is what helped me break through this feeling of being overwhelmed and almost paralyzed when it came to doing work. It's like what James Clear says in his book Atomic Habits. It's the 1% incremental improvements every single day that will eventually stack up. Remember, it's not about the amount of work that you do, but the fact that you did something and that something is closer to your goal. And it's always better than doing nothing at all. I find this simple checklist system worked extremely well for me when it came to working on creative projects, a side hustle that you want to grow, fitness goals, and even personal tasks like cleaning and organizing. So that's my understanding of this feeling of being overwhelmed about the future in terms of goals and dreams. And honestly, it was how I was able to get out of my head and narrow my focus. A lot of the time, it's just really be your own self, like 98% of the time. So it helps to be more self-aware when that does happen. Anyway, if you have any personal experiences with feeling like this, I would love to know how you got through it in the comments below. And thanks for watching. I will see you soon.